If I told you that a secret operation turned a hidden mountain war into a global earthquake, if I told you that billions of dollars were moved in silence, weapons crossed borders without a flag, and two powerful intelligence agencies changed history without declaring war. Today, we reveal how Operation Cyclone began, how the Central Intelligence Agency and Inter-Services Intelligence built the Cold War's largest secret war machine, and how the mountains of Afghanistan became a supreme power's secret chessboard. The year is 1979. The Cold War appears cold on the surface, but burning underneath. Soviet tanks roll into Afghanistan. Moscow believes it is securing influence. Washington watches as the balance of power shifts. Analysts in Langley study satellite images. Officers in Rawalpindi examine detailed maps of mountain passes. A silent conclusion emerges. If Afghanistan falls completely under Soviet control, the balance of power will be forever altered. The CIA proposes a solution, not an open war, not American troops, but something invisible. Money without signatures, weapons without serial numbers, training without uniforms. The operation is given a name: Operation Cyclone. The year was 1979, and the world of the Cold War appeared calm on the surface. But in the mountains of Afghanistan, a secret storm was brewing. Suddenly, Soviet tanks and troops rolled into Afghan territory, sending ripples of alarm through Washington. The United States realized that if Afghanistan fell completely under Soviet control, the balance of power in the region would be permanently altered. At the CIA's headquarters in Langley, analysts pored over satellite images and classified reports. Every mountain pass, every river, every tiny village held significance. Meanwhile, officers in Rawalpindi meticulously mapped the mountain routes and valleys. The minds of both agencies were linked, yet every decision carried secrecy and risk. Instead of an open war, the CIA proposed an invisible, covert operation. The foundation of this plan was money, weapons, and training, but without signatures, without identification. A machinery of war was created, eyes capable of seeing from afar, yet invisible to the world. The mission was named Operation Cyclone. Initially, the funding was limited, but it soon ballooned into billions of dollars. Every dollar, every weapon, every training session passed through a secret chain, with the ISI overseeing the entire operation. Hidden camps sprang up across the mountains, and young Mujahideen began arriving from distant villages, cities, and even other countries. They were trained in mountain warfare, guerrilla tactics, bomb-making, and surviving enemy attacks. The CIA provided state-of-the-art weapons and technology, while the ISI managed the ground networks and logistical support. Each camp became a hidden world. Every day of training was a dangerous secret, and every night the mountain's silence bore witness to a deadly struggle. The introduction of Stinger missiles changed the game entirely. Small but deadly, these weapons were previously unstoppable threats to Soviet helicopters. But now they became instruments of fear for the enemy. On nights when the sky lit up, the burning wreckage of helicopters drifted into the mountain air, leaving an invisible but terrifying mark. Alongside weapons and funding, the covert training programs continued to expand. Despite the political and religious differences among various groups, they were united against a common enemy. Everything was meticulously organized. Danger lurked at every step, yet the operation was so secretive that no enemy eyes could see it coming. The mountains of Afghanistan became not just a battlefield, but a secret chessboard, where global powers moved their pieces silently. American and Pakistani officers monitored every image, report, and piece of intelligence. Every small incident, every attack, every failure. And every victory was analyzed in secret rooms far from prying eyes. Eventually, for the Soviet military, the war turned into a full-blown proxy conflict. Every loss weighed heavily on them. Using their covert machinery, the US and ISI wore down the enemy, forcing Soviet troops to struggle and get trapped in the mountains. Behind each success lay a chess move, invisible to the rest of the world. But as the wheels of war turned, the outcomes became more complex and dangerous. The growing influence of funding, weapons, training, and networks not only transformed Afghanistan, but also left lasting effects on the global stage. The machinery built to defeat a superpower continued to hold explosive potential for the world long after its immediate mission ended. The growing influence of funding, weapons, training, and networks not only transformed Afghanistan, but also left lasting effects on the global stage. The machinery built to defeat a superpower held explosive potential for the world long after its immediate mission ended. Now begins the story of Part 2. To accelerate the operation, the CIA and ISI reached out to Saudi Arabia. Riyadh began providing secret funding as well. Billions of dollars in covert funds, invisible on any bank statement, started flowing into hidden camps in the mountains. Each dollar was tied to a new weapon, a new training program, and the potential for a new strike. The intensity of training in the camps escalated. Young fighters were pushed to navigate mountain paths day and night, trained to locate enemy positions, strike vulnerable points, and analyze enemy movements. Every recruit became part of a secret war mission, and every night, the mountain air carried the tension of a hidden balance of power. Stinger missiles and other advanced weapons were now present on nearly every front. Whenever Soviet helicopters appeared in the sky, trained Mujahideen attacked, destroying numerous aircraft and equipment. Each battle fought in the mountains had global reverberations, yet everything remained invisible to the world's eyes. The ISI managed the entire covert network. Every weapon, every trained fighter, and every attack was under intelligence control. The combined strategy of the CIA and ISI constantly pushed back the enemy. The mountains of Afghanistan were no longer just geography. They had become a hidden battlefield where every move, every decision, and every action was shaping the future of global politics. The effects of funding and training quickly became apparent. Soviet military officers were perplexed. They expected the Afghan resistance to collapse quickly, but every attack, every failure, and every loss exhausted them. The secret machinery of the United States and Pakistan established a new balance of power in the mountains. Meanwhile, local Afghan fighters and villagers also became part of this secret mission. Their training and weapons became not just a means of local defense, but a critical factor in the geopolitical games of global powers. Behind each victory lay a meticulously crafted intelligence plan, and even every setback served as a covert lesson. The communication and network between the CIA and ISI were so strong that no outside interference or espionage could compromise their system. Every attack, every training program, and every flow of funds continued uninterrupted. The mountains of Afghanistan became a hidden chessboard, and every move became a game-changer for the world's most powerful nations. During this time, CIA analysts continuously compiled reports, documenting the effects of every battle, every training program, and every weapon. These reports remained hidden from the world, but became a critical tool for American and Pakistani agencies, guiding future operations and strategic decisions. The mountains of Afghanistan were no longer just geography. They had become a living battlefield where every mountain pass, every valley, and every small village held critical importance. The Mujahideen began analyzing enemy movements from hidden positions in the mountains. Every night, every small tunnel, and every secret path became a threat to the enemy. The presence of Stinger missiles instilled fear even in Soviet helicopters. One night, when a helicopter's searchlight swept across a mountain face, the trained Mujahideen fired their weapons, downing the aircraft. Smoke and flames rose into the silent mountain air, creating a terrifying spectacle that shook the morale of the Soviet forces. Every engagement was based on intelligence. CIA analysts and ISI officers meticulously planned every strike. The Mujahideen were guided on which routes to take, where to attack, and when to retreat. Every decision, every step, was calculated in secrecy. Training in the Mujahideen camps intensified. Young fighters learned to make explosives, identify weak points, and disrupt enemy communication lines. Small raids and attacks on every front inflicted significant damage on the Soviet forces. Each ambush along the mountain passes restricted the enemy's movements. Every night, the air carried a hidden danger, and each day, Soviet troops became more confused and exhausted. Afghanistan's natural terrain had transformed into a theater of intelligence operations and guerrilla warfare. The steady arrival of funds and weapons amplified the effects of the training. Every strike, every raid, and every victory became a lesson for the CIA and ISI. Their joint strategy kept the enemy under constant pressure and ensured the Mujahideen success across the fronts. Meanwhile, local fighters also became integral to the secret mission. Their training, weapons, and combat skills turned into crucial assets in the global power game. Behind every success was a meticulously crafted intelligence plan, and every setback provided a hidden opportunity to learn. Soviet forces grew increasingly fatigued. Each battle, each loss, and each failure proved decisive against them. The mountains of Afghanistan became a hub of enemy vulnerability, and at every step, danger lay in wait. The mountains of Afghanistan were no longer just a battlefield. They had become the legacy of a secret mission. Operation Cyclone did not merely weaken the Soviet Union, it reshaped the political and military landscape of the region. The trained Mujahideen, once carrying weapons in hidden camps, had now become a powerful factor in the eyes of global powers. As Soviet troops began to withdraw, the world had no idea how dangerous the machinery, weapons, and training hidden in the mountains could be. The covert network established between the CIA and ISI did not end. It continued to expand its influence. The weapons, training, and networks left behind in Afghanistan had long-lasting effects on global politics and regional conflicts. Operation Cyclone delivered a clear lesson. Covert wars and proxy operations can shift the balance of power, but their consequences are never contained. Those young fighters trained in the mountains later participated in conflicts across multiple regions, and this hidden asset remained a constant threat to global powers. The intelligence of the CIA and the networking of the ISI created a model that history would largely overlook. The world may never have known the full scope of this secret game. Yet every move, every engagement, and every strike influenced future wars and shaped international relations. This mission was not only a success, it was a covert experiment that set new rules for global proxy wars. The lessons learned from this operation became guiding principles for intelligence agencies for decades to come. After Operation Cyclone, the mountains of Afghanistan fell silent, yet the networks, training, weapons left behind remained a latent, explosive potential for the world. This secret legacy continues to influence global affairs, and intelligence communities remember it as a historic covert success. The mission's success and its lasting effects rewrote Cold War history. Secret war, invisible to the world, permanently shifted the balance of power among the most powerful nations. Ultimately, it became clear that when covert operations are executed with large-scale funding, training, and a hidden network, they can be far more effective and far more dangerous than any direct war. Operation Cyclone stands as proof that in the world of intelligence and proxy warfare, nothing ever truly ends before it is seen. Friends, that was the story of Operation Cyclone, a secret mission that shook the world of the Cold War from within. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and share so more people can uncover this hidden story. Also, let us know in the comments what you thought of the video and which intelligence or spy stories you'd like us to explore next. Remember, there are countless secret missions in the world that never make it into history books. Yet their effects are still felt today. We'll take you into the world of such secrets where every revelation opens a new reality.